right. What's up? That thing's loud.
Whoa, caught me off guard with the fireworks, buddy.
Yeah, explosions all around. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good, man. How about yourself?
I am hanging in there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Brisco Big Ace Show.
Oh, I got something in my eye.
All right. Nice. Yeah, so pre-Thanksgiving show. This will be our Thanksgiving show. We'll give our thanks to what we're grateful for at some point during this conversation. But we're not going to have a show next week on Thursday because obviously it is the holiday. Share that with your loved ones and however you're going to do it this year, just do it and be happy about it.
And stay safe.
And stay safe, of course. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're gonna talk about some cool stuff. Survivor Series is coming up, so I'll ask you about that card when we get into it here in a little bit. But yeah, so things are going good for me over here, other than the world around me is falling apart because we're shutting everything down in Minnesota. But things are going good for you down there, and you have a cool, awesome wrestling show that's going down this weekend that I keep seeing about. That I'm excited to hear about. So you and Chico Adams, is that it?
Yeah, me and Chico Adams, and I believe it's EC3 versus Shannon Moore.
Oh, damn.
I believe it's a very heavy card. It's going to be very, very good. I'm really looking forward to the show. The past couple shows have just been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just good seeing everyone in the crowd wear masks, everyone being safe, everyone doing what they're supposed to do to able to still be able to get out, have fun, and enjoy some wrestling at a time like this when everything is going crazy. No one knows what's going on, and are we shutting down? Not shutting down? As long as we can keep doing a couple more shows and keep people happy, that's our goal. And as long as we do it safely, and as long as everyone wears their mask and uses hand sanitizer, and we have stations everywhere, um, we're still able to do these shows. And thankfully we're obeying by all the rules because that place does not want us there. And luckily we obey by all the rules and we're still able to go on. But yeah, me and Chico Adams, we've known each other for a while. He actually trained at Dory Funk Jr. School a long time ago. And
All
at the
right.
time, that was when I was going down. And every once in a while, coaching with Dory Funk, and then every once in a while either tagging with Dory or wrestling against Dory at like 72 years old. Dory Funk Jr. was still getting in the ring with me, and it was crazy seeing that guy wrestle.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. But real quick, yeah. So Sunday matinee show.
Um, so I really don't know that what that I know that word means.
I think it's an earlier show, like early in the day.
Yes. So I guess
Uh,
that's what that word means.
yeah.
Matinee.
So that's going to be a cool thing. So people should check it out if they're down there. Check out the YouTube for Atomic. Shout out to
I'm glad you told me it was during the day because I probably would have showed up.
IPW.
But actually, I show up early anyways because I'm an agent. So I help.
Yeah,
I help with the younger people put their matches together.
for sure. So shout out to all the independents out there who are still trying to do shows, doing them safely.
As long as they're doing it safely, I don't want
Mhm.
to see any guys doing shows and not having the crowd wear a mask and not being safe, or at least spreading out the chairs properly. I mean, it's very easy to separate the chairs and have the proper distance for everybody to be safe.
Yeah, definitely. Also, shout out to our good friends in Iowa, IPW. They've been doing some cool streaming shows every Sunday. They are going to be on hold for a few weeks now because, again, the Midwest up here, we're getting hit really hard with COVID right now. So a lot of things slowing down up here. But
It's
when they
crazy.
do,
It's crazy because normally I picture you right now saying everything's shut down due to heavy
yeah,
snowstorms,
no,
but
no
it
kidding. Like usually, yeah, it's like blizzard like right now, or at least super cold. And most of these next few months, it's everything's shut down because you can't drive anywhere. The road, the plows can't even get out, stuff like that. And now it's just like, no, we just can't do anything right now because the world is crazy. So but yeah, it's check those guys out when they get going again. Hi Trish, thanks for joining us tonight. Because they put on a great show. We've been down with many of their shows, so and they were
yeah,
doing a
I know
cool.
it was unfortunately they didn't get to do their super show like they normally do, but they're going to do a bigger and better one. So we're definitely looking forward to 2021 when we're able to do the Super Show IPW with Troy. That's going to be, and the Wrestling Hall of Fame and all that good stuff. That's going to be a really good, I think that's going to be a really good show for everybody because that a lot of people come from a lot of different states.
Mhm.
And I think just to see the bond of everybody from every different state. Because right now, all I'm seeing is all local people coming to the wrestling events.
Right.
And, Troy brings in such a diverse, great group of people. And it's good to see everybody from every walk of life that you normally wouldn't see. And
Mhm.
that's a great thing about the Wrestling Hall of Fame is that you catch up with wrestlers and Hall of Famers that you normally wouldn't get to see every day and actually get to hang out with them. And,
Yeah, man. I mean, that whole weekend's responsible of why we met and started this show, and it's just a special weekend. So this next time, fingers crossed, July 2021, it's happening. It's
yeah.
planned.
I mean, that's
Hopefully,
not really too far away if you really think
it's not.
about it.
It's not. And if it does happen, man, that is gonna be a very fun weekend. Just because it's gonna be like a huge reunion. I mean, it's a lot of the same people who come from all over for that weekend, so it's great. I do want to ask you though. So Dory Funk Jr. at how old?
72.
So I want to hear about this because I actually didn't know you've actually wrestled Dory Funk Jr. Uh
Multiple times.
I had no idea. Um so I mean, because he's wrestled with your dad and uncle back in the day. So like how did that happen? Like you said you coached with him too. So like did he reach out to you or
Yeah, he reached out to me. He used to run, I don't know if he does anymore. He used to run out of Ocala, and he used to do this thing called Bang TV that was a internet thing. And he would post his matches on the internet. And every once in a while, he would hire me to come down to help draw and, bring some, help draw, put some asses in some seats, as they would say. And yeah, it was a good time. And Dory is always, stud. The only crazy thing is when he pulls out that bullwhip. Man, he can't really see so well, and man, he pulls out that bullwhip. And even if you're behind, I would, if whenever I saw him bring out the bullwhip, if you ever watch any of the old videos, I dip out. I get out of the ring as fast as possible, even if I'm on his team, because I'm scared that even being near him with that whip. I would watch him crack it a couple times, and then when the ref clears everything out, then I would scoot in and raise their hand together or whatever was going on. But I would always stay clear of that bullwhip because man, that thing, I don't want to get hit by that thing.
right? That's great. That's amazing. What's up, Eric? Thanks for joining us.
Up,
That's
Eric?
funny. I did not know about that. I'm gonna have to is that on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find that and watch that. So that's just crazy. So let's is there any other like I don't want to call them old timers, but like legends from that era that you've worked with that I wouldn't maybe know about?
I mean, we talked about Tracy Smothers.
Yeah,
I mean, I, let's see, that are not wrestling today.
right.
Or
Yeah, that are done.
is Dreamer done?
No,
Okay.
he's an impact.
I'm trying to think of who. I think
I mean,
I think Andori would probably. I mean, Brian Blair when I tagged with him.
oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, yeah.
I would think that would be.
Have you ever did even just like in practice or just when training or anything? Did your dad ever lock up with you?
Yeah, I thought we told that story.
I don't remember. I because I don't remember. We don't talk a lot about your dad because we're waiting for that episode when he comes on here. So we've kind of like held a lot of that back. So I don't
Well,
remember.
I guess we'll tell the story. Well, my dad for he did for a little bit before I went to FCW, and then I went to FCW, and he kind of wanted the coaches to do their thing, and he didn't want to come in there and pull a Ricky Steamboat and come in here and basically just like coach your kid. Like my dad
Right.
was like, I want the coaches to coach Wes. I don't. I don't, they're hired there to do their job, and I'm not going to step on no one's toes. Just a respect thing.
Right.
So once I got past of being super super green and finally like knew what I was doing in the ring, my dad came to the school and was like, "All right, I'll get in the ring with you." So the coaches cleared practice. Practice was over with. We waited till everybody left, and it was just Dusty Rhodes, Norman Smiley, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Steve Kern, and of course my dad and me. So,
That's the room at that time.
yeah,
That's a hell of a room.
yeah, yeah. It was funny though because I'm like laughing and joking and kind of thinking it's funny, like kind of like joking around and not like taking things seriously.
Right.
And my dad like looked at me and like looked around at the ring and like saw that I was joking. And when I went to lock up, he went bam and punched me right in the face and broke my nose. And I looked at him and I was like, "What are you doing? Why did you just hit me like that?" And he was like, "Because you were making fun of the business." He goes, "This is the business that put a roof over your head. This is the business that fed you, that gave you Christmas presents, that got you a car, that got you everything you wanted. And you're going to sit here and make fun of it in front of my peers? No, that's not how we're doing it." And I looked at him and I was like, oh. And I said, "Okay, well, can I wipe my face?" He goes, "Nope, we're going 45." And I was like, "All right." So I went 45 minutes with my dad. Oh, I did wrestle Dr. Tom for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
I did an hour match with Dr. Tom. This was a pretty cool. Did I talk about that?
I think we mentioned it when he was on the show.
Yeah, but yeah, that was another cool thing was
That's that's an amazing experience, man.
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and
You got a you got a
everybody
great just
everybody was so
rapport
scared,
together.
and I was like, I had such good cardio that I was like, "I'll go an hour." Like, whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, Trish, we're gonna eventually have Mr. Briscoe come on the show. We just don't know when yet. It's gonna happen though.
When his 3-month clause no compete is up.
Yeah, so and I don't know how long ago that was, but sounds like soon. Thanksgiving plans. You got any? You're gonna be with the fam? Are you guys gonna be
I'll
able to
be
get
with the
together?
family, and I believe Red Velvet's family is coming down, and we're just gonna do a nice little family thing at my parents' house. So
That's
we're gonna
wonderful.
do it at their house. So it'll be nice.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. I was gonna get with my family, but unfortunately, again, COVID's crazy up here, so that's gonna cause it that we're not gonna get together this year. So
Well, we're all gonna do it outside and
nice.
kind of like spread out. You know what I mean? So it's
Right,
not
right.
like
I tell you
we're
what, I'm jealous that I like during this pandemic, this is definitely a time where I'm like, I wish I didn't live somewhere where it's gonna get freezing cold.
yeah, because I mean we're gonna do it safely. It's not like I mean it's gonna be basically me, my mom, my dad, maybe my brother, um, Red, her sister, her mom, and her niece. So that's I mean that's pretty small,
Yeah.
and we do it outside, and like just stay safe. I believe. I mean, I pray to God, everything and will be all right. But I think we'll be all right if we do it safely like that.
Yeah. You guys will be good. That's awesome. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there watching, listening, however it is that you're doing that. And hopefully you guys have a good holiday. Do you have like a tradition? Was there a tradition for your family that you guys always did every year on Thanksgiving?
You're asking the wrong person. No, because this is the day that they raped and killed all my people.
Right.
I'm Native American, so it wasn't a really good day. And what the history book said was not accurate, did not really happen that way. So for
Right.
me, Thanksgiving is not really a day of, I mean, I give thanks and I'm thankful. And
Right.
I use that as being like, let's just use it as that. But like the true heritage of Thanksgiving is not truly celebrated in my household.
Right. But you guys do like a turkey every year and stuff
Oh,
still?
of course. I mean, it's the same. Like, yeah, we have the food, and we're
Yeah.
thankful for family. We're thankful for everyone being around, and we use that to be, just for to be thankful. But the true origins of that is not celebrated,
Right. Yeah, no.
nor
I don't
should it.
I don't think anybody celebrates origins of any holidays anymore. It's just whatever you're told to do. Like Christmas, it's like Santa and presents, not, Jesus Christ was born. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing's really so like my family, my brother's biggest thing was saying he loved the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York, the Macy's parade.
Dude,
Like
did you ever see that people would stand out there for, I think it was like 24 hours to get a spot?
yeah. Yeah. So my family's from New York. I was born in Manhattan. It's just we moved to Minnesota when I was like 3, so I didn't have that
Mhm.
luxury like my brother and sister did of growing up in the city. But they would tell me about it. They would be like, "Oh, yeah, you just knew not to go anywhere near the parade route, like 2 days out from the
I
parade
want to
'cause
know
people
how
would
the people stand there and like how they can stand there and like not pee themselves. Like, or do they just pee? Like,
yeah,
or is that the which one of the things that happens in New York where people literally will wait? I think it's the New Year's
well,
ball
it's
where
it's both. Like, people literally do line up, like, a day in advance, I think, that or try to get spots for the parade, and then, yeah, New Year's, people line up, like, a day like,
what-
they fill in, like, a
how's that possible? Like,
well, but
do they
Times Square,
do they
though, if
prepare
there was
themselves?
a group
Like, do they know like that? Okay, I know I'm gonna go there a day advance. I'm gonna bring food, a backpack, some water. I mean,
well,
come on now, like,
so
and
here's
it's
the deal.
cold.
Yeah, but the other thing too is for the New Year's in Times Square, if you're there with a group, you just go one by at a time, and literally anywhere in Times Square you turn, there's a restaurant, store, so you can buy, drink, piss anywhere you want, as long as
But
you
how
got
do you can't how do you get your spot back in line if people have been
well, that's
waiting
what I'm saying, you gotta be with a group,
all
though.
day?
If you're there by yourself, you're screwed. But if you're with some friends, like, you just go one at a time, like, they hold down the spot, you go, you come
Yeah,
back, and then someone else can go get, like, a piece to eat or you know, that's the only way it can be done. I mean,
yeah.
it is New York, and it is it is the city, so, I mean, there's probably people who just also go and just piss right where they're standing for a whole day because they
I
don't
just
wanna
thought, yeah, I just thought that always like intrigued me of seeing people do that. Like that was one of those things that always like kind of like the people that wait out in front of the shopping stores,
Mhm.
like that all like I would drive by and be like, man, is it really that important? Or you can't really wait like 2 months or 3 months? Like you gotta have it right. I guess I've never been that person to be like, I need something right now. I've always been like, I can wait. Like I'm not really too big
Yeah,
of a rush of having something.
yeah, and the
Only
PlayStation
thing that I
5
was too
just came out.
busy in a rush of having was Red Velvet. I was like, ooh, I gotta snag her up. But
Right,
pretty
you
much,
you made the right move when you needed to.
yeah, pretty much that's about it. But other
Yeah.
than that, I pretty much take my time with anything like that. Like
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't get it either. The PlayStation 5 came out this week, and I was seeing so many people I know online just being like, "I can't get one. Why can't I get it? And I'm not buying like one for $5,000." And it was
see,
like,
my buddy runs a scam.
"Oh,
My
really?"
buddy has like I was funny because I was talking to him about it one day, and he's like, "Yeah, man. So what I do is," he goes, "I get a credit card, and I'll buy like 10 PlayStations, or he'll buy the limit you can pre-order. I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
know how many you can pre-order. I believe it's maybe 10.
Probably.
I think
I don't
you
know.
can pre-order
I've
or
never done it.
whatever." And so he pre-orders, and what you do is you pay in advance before it
Right.
goes out, and you pay for it all up front. So he does it. He gets a credit card, and of course, he just pays off the small little credit card, do minimum payments that he has to pay off, and then when it comes Christmas time, or whenever he gets the PlayStations, or whenever it's whatever they release it, he turns around and resells them for like
Oh, it's
5 to 6 grand. I'm like, what? How much did you
yeah.
pay for it? And he's like, I paid regular price for it. I just pre-ordered them and bought them in bulk. And I go,
Yeah,
I think they order them a year in advance. I don't know how. I really don't know how the scheme works. I guess I'll talk to him and figure it out more because he lives in Tampa. So next
okay.
time I'm in Tampa, well, I guess I'll be for Thanksgiving. But if everything's not shut down, because I usually see him at the gym, and
Okay.
if I see him at the gym, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, what's up with that? Like what's up with that scam? Like, tell me a little bit more." Like,
Yeah,
but
I don't
yeah,
know
I
how to
know
get out.
he was making really good money doing it.
It makes sense though, because you can pre-order. So if you can pre-order because I know people who pre-ordered and got theirs the day it came out, like it was delivered or a couple days before. So
Mhm.
yeah, it makes sense if you have the money to do it. Because yeah, you then right now this week people are selling them for 5 grand, and it's like it's a $400 or $500 machine. You're paying 5 grand because you need it now instead of like in 3 weeks they'll be stocked up again.
Yeah, but that's just it's like shoes too. I know people that do the same thing with tennis shoes.
Yeah, yeah, I
That
do
have
too.
the hookup, that have the hookup on tennis shoes, and they'll buy up the whole thing before it gets released and then resell
I've never done that. I've never lined up for a release to buy something when it for I've just never
them.
done
I
that.
never cared. I've
Yeah,
What's
me
up,
neither. What's
CJ?
up, Jay?
Yeah, I've never. I mean, I just never cared. Never cared enough to like needed something that badly. That I mean, of course, my dad will probably tell you guys differently, but for me, I don't think
But I
ever
don't
would
count
have.
when I was younger, 'cause that's stupid money. You don't know what you're not even, like, doing like, now, though, when it's like, I'm grown, I know what I need, I know what I need to survive, and nothing has ever come out that as an adult, I was like, "I need to go li" I'll admit I've done, like, a Black Friday before where I've gone and lined up at, like to go in at midnight just to but it was a hell of a deal, you know? But I've never
Was it
needed
that big of a deal though?
when I was poor and I didn't wanna pay, like, $500-$600 for a TV and I could get it for, like, 150 that night for 3-hour window, yeah, I'll go and get it if I
So how long did you have to wait in line?
wasn't bad,
It wasn't bad.
2 hours.
Were people like fighting over it? Was it like a rush
No,
or
like, I never went when that was going on, like, by the time I
I,
went, they had,
so,
like you'd go in and get, like, a ticket or something for that item, and they'd line you up, and if you didn't get a ticket for it, you weren't getting the item.
oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah,
But now
so
everything's online, and they say supposedly Black Friday online. So how's that scam working?
I think you just go to the website, like, I looked at Best Buy today for their Black Friday deals, and it's just
Is
some
it
of them
the
are
same, or is it the
well, I
same?
think what they're gonna do is there'll be a window time, like, I saw one thing that was, like, not for sale yet, so maybe that's gonna be a true Black Friday where on Friday after Thanksgiving, it's go on sale at, like, midnight for, like, 4 hours or so I don't know. But, yeah, the thing is, they've been doing this for, like, a month now, a lot of these places. Like, I bought headphones. I bought $200 headphones or $250 headphones for $100, like, 3 weeks ago on Best Buy, and it was a Black Friday deal. You know what I mean?
I want to see how much the GoPros are going for.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need a new GoPro badly.
I need just a good new camera, not necessarily that. Yeah, toilet paper, people doing that where you're at, that's always fun. I don't get that. Still don't understand it, but, um,
Use your hand and wash it.
right. Did you ever watch, was it Demolition Man? What are the 3 shells for? With
No.
Sylvester Stallone? Where where he's
I
in the
know the movie you're talking about, but I don't remember the movie.
yeah, it's when he goes to the bathroom and he instead of toilet paper, they have 3 seashells, and he comes out like, "What are the seashells for?" Oh, it's great. Um, so I was telling you this before we got
What are
online.
the she sells for?
No, they never tell you.
Oh,
There's probably some fan theories if you, like, go deep online that you could probably figure it out or they'll have a good idea. Because there's another fan theory about that Demolition Man movie because the whole thing is that Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone were frozen,
yeah.
and Snipes was a bad guy, and Stallone obviously is the face guy. So when they become unfrozen, you hear about Sylvester Stallone talk about how he left his wife and little girl. Well, then it just happens to be a younger Sandra Bullock was like the lady cop he had to
Yeah.
deal with and be partner with. So there's like a fan theory that maybe that was his daughter, yet they end up hooking up. It's weird. But yeah, they never tell you what the 3 seashells were for.
Okay, we really went on a wild spin on that one.
But I'll tell you
And
what, that's a classic 90s film.
I was just asking about the shells, man.
If anybody likes good movies, check it out. Demolition Man. Taco Bell takes over everything. That's gonna happen. Uh, every fine
They're
restaurant
owned
will be
by
a Taco
Pepsi.
Bell.
They're in business of like, don't they own Pepsi Cola too? I think it's like their own
Probably,
huge company.
probably.
That
Like I
Pizza
doubt it.
Hut
Right.
and Long John Silver's, KFC.
Nice. Anyways, before I went on tonight, I was watching the show Hot Wings online. I was telling you about this, and they had Undertaker on it this week, and it was pretty interesting to watch it just because
What
obviously
was
he's
he
on
wearing?
there.
Sorry, I hate
What's
to interrupt you, and I should have just let you keep talking. But what was he wearing?
like a black button shirt and like a I think he had a bandana on, black bandana on.
Sorry to interrupt you. I don't know why that just like I was like, if I don't ask now, I'm gonna forget.
It's all right, man. It's all right. It's entertaining. If anybody watching, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out on YouTube. The Undertaker on Hot Ones. Um, it was interesting to see though because he's pushing the Survivor Series. We'll get into that probably end the show. What's going down Sunday? He's going to be on there doing a final farewell. But it was interesting to listen to him talk, and they started talking about ribs when he was in the business and like people who
Are
had
you
some good ribs.
are you talking about ribs because they were putting the hot sauce on the ribs?
No
Oh.
pranksters.
Oh, those types of ribs you're
Mm.
talking about. Oh, okay.
So and he was talking about some of the guys that he thought were the better pranksters. And I was wondering, I was like, what have you done any pranks or been pranked while you were working in the industry and backstage or anything like that? Anything that comes to mind
I mean, other than the story that we told with
with
Heath,
yeah.
but no, no, it was a different time.
Well, and the other thing I was curious about too is like in FCW where you guys are, you're trying to get to that next step. Was that even a thing? Like, or would the coaches shut that down?
Ooh,
Like, boom.
nobody mess. No, or there'd be fights,
Yeah.
and nothing happened like that. No, dude. Mm-mm.
That's crazy. Do you ever hear any stories from your dad about any of that from back in the day with the old guys? Because he brought up Mr. Fuji, Undertaker did, and I've heard some stories of Mr. Fuji. Like the one in particular that's gone around is uh, I think it was like his neighbor or something that they were like going back and forth so hard he eventually like killed the guy's dog and cooked it and had him eat it.
Yeah, disassembled a guy's car. All kinds
What?
of. Yeah, I heard he disassembled some guy's car.
Man.
Yeah, just wild, like above, beyond. Yeah, my dad, you would have to ask my dad when we have my dad on the show. He would, he's told me, but to be honest with you, I forgot pretty much. I mean, it's hard. He's told me so many stories that
Yeah.
it's hard to like keep every story that he's told me like
Right.
in my, in my head.
Oh, that's crazy. That's yeah, when he was talking about Mr. Fuji, I was just like, that guy was a savage. If you were like messing around with him.
Yeah, the craziest thing is his son came to FCW. And his
Really?
son tried to like do like bing bang bang all that gimmick. I throw sun in your eye and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Everybody was like, womp womp womp
Yeah.
womp. It just, I mean, no disrespect, man, no
Right.
disrespect, but it just was not happening. Everybody looked at him and was like,
Was it him or was it that was played out at that point?
it was so played out, but the coaches said don't do it, and he kept doing it,
Oh,
kept doing it, kept
no.
doing it, and they were like, he's gone.
Yeah,
And
no,
he
that's
just
not
really had it made up in his mind that he was gonna do that crazy outlandish 80s character the full time. And they just didn't, that's not their style. So they were like, nah.
yeah, that's crazy. Like, why would you I wouldn't I never understand that. Like if your coach is there and they say, "Hey, don't do it this way, try it this way," and you don't, and you just keep doing it the way you're doing it, like why are you
Right.
doing like you're not gonna go far. Obviously, you're not gonna go anywhere with that kind of attitude. Oh, it just boggles my mind. It really
A
does.
lot of people did that. But speaking of Taker, so did he get to finally a wing that he was like, did he break down or did he just kind of
Hey man,
only did like tell me about that? What
I will
was
tell you this.
what was his reaction, or did he even try to push it to get a reaction?
He did good. He did really good, actually. The the last 3 wings of that show is usually, like, the worst, and, like, the 3rd to the last is, like, usually the one that is on every season of this show, and it wrecks every celebrity. Uh, he handled it pretty well, man. Like, I've seen, there's been people like Shaq and some other people on there who lost their minds on this certain sauce, and Taker, you can feel it, but, like, 3 minutes later, he was right back to answering the questions, where most people are, like, running around the room, downing milk. He never drank any milk. He didn't touch his milk at all, uh, the whole time. Um,
Did he
but
eat the hottest one?
yeah, he ate them all. He ate the whole row, all because they start at, like, a
Yeah.
really mild and
And
they
he
go all the way up.
just stood there, finished asking the questions, and didn't break?
Yeah, man, he was good. He just kept going. I mean, he said there's a couple of times where he's just like, "Oh, ooh, yeah, this is stupid. This is stupid. Like, this is hot as hell." Like, but it never was like a full, like he was able to just keep going when the guy asked questions, and, like, yeah, he made it through way better than a lot of other celebrities I've
Dude,
seen.
Taker's a legit badass. He's not gonna break on a hot wing.
Right? Like, have you done anything with him? You ever, like, has he you ever
Oh
asked him,
my god.
yeah, ever asked him any advice or anything like that? Any dealings with Taker while you were around FCW?
Um, the last time I talked to Taker was when I went back to the performance center. And what up, cuzzo? That's my cousin right there.
Oh yeah.
Um, last time I oh sorry, bring me back. Taker.
Taker.
Okay. Last time I saw Taker was I was at the performance center, and it was when they brought me back and they were gonna do some stuff at NXT, and that was when NXT, I believe I wrestled Velvet Dream. Um, Taker was there,
Mhm.
and I've known Taker a really, really long
Right.
time, pretty much my whole life. And I remember like everybody was like scared to talk to Taker. And of course, me, I'm like, what's up, Taker? And then we end up talking, and we were talking about the old Davey Spivey incident when they beat up the Road Warriors. And just me and I probably talked to Taker for probably over an hour, just me and him. And it was just about all kinds of cool stuff. I really don't want to share the conversation because I feel like it was a conversation only meant for me and him.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, man, I've had a lot of good interactions with Taker, and he's always been a stand-up dude and always been like really friendly to me and always wanted to help me. And what a like Rip, what a great dude.
Right. Where do you rank him of all time greatest? Where do you rank him?
He's definitely top 10, top 5.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, it's just nobody that, yeah. I mean, there's nobody else like that, and that can take that character and just,
No, in that size.
no one at all. So,
That size and know how to work that size and know how to always be over
right. Yeah, dude.
and
There's no
always have everybody's respect and never not have anybody's respect. That's kind of a pretty big accomplishment.
right. Yeah, that's what's interesting about Survivor Series. So, um, I was telling you this before. It's the final farewell, 30 years. It'll be 30 years. His 30th anniversary of his debut at Survivor Series for WWE. So they're doing his farewell now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you asked if he was wrestling. I don't think so. I don't think there's any actual match involved. I think
Are
it's
you
just
sure? What is it this Sunday?
this Sunday. I
You never
don't think there's nothing because there's no opponent. The's no in the ring one. It's literally like a farewell, and there's
so what like what's gonna like what are they gonna do? Like I don't understand because they can't just have Taker come out and wave to the crowd and be like,
no.
"Hi guys, I'm see you later."
Well, and there will be no crowd either. So that's the other thing because
uh,
there's going to be no crowd there. They're still
well,
in the
they'll
Thunder.
probably do a great highlight package.
So they're going to do a highlight package, but it sounds like they're almost trying to do what they did when Flair retired that first
Which
time
time?
after he lost.
Oh,
Yeah, right. The first time after he lost to Michaels, and they actually had that really big send off on Raw the next night.
yeah,
I think they're going for something like that because it sounds like they're going to bring back people from Taker's past that are going to come and make an appearance at this thing too. Um, people like his crew from that he used to run around with backstage, and I'm sure Kane's going to be there. Foley, like people like that are probably getting asked to come to this, is what I've heard. So I think it's going to be probably, like you said, highlight package, him in the ring. The question is, does he come out character, or this has really been the first year we've seen him break the fourth wall and him be out of character doing the documentary, doing all these interviews lately.
Yeah, doing all these podcasts. Maybe he does what he did at WrestleMania, comes out with the jacket and the hat and the gloves, and maybe leaves it in the ring again.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he does. Um, I don't know. I guess that's what we're gonna have to watch. And then, so fill me in with the matches, and let's do some predictions. Let's get into the nitty gritty of the show, and let's go over Survivor Series and the matches so we can make our predictions.
All right, here we go. So, in case you didn't know already, Survivor Series going down this Sunday on the WWE Network. Raw versus SmackDown. Last year, Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT was amazing. This year, no NXT involved.
I know. I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed about that, but we'll talk about that on another show.
Yes. So everything's brand versus brand. So we got Drew McIntyre, who is the WWE champion, versus Roman Reigns, who is the Universal champion. Two guys you know very well, main eventing this show.
Oh, oh man.
These are like your boys.
I know. So it's like, holy crap. Like those are both guys that will run up to me and hug me as hard as possible. I want Drew to win, but I see Roman winning.
Okay. I am with you. But here's the reason though. I'm with you. And I think it's going to be a Roman Reigns win, but I think it's going to be because we see a Jey Uso interference. Because now that he is beating Uso, he is now kind of under the control of Roman Reigns in the family.
Ooh,
So,
I like that. So I like that prediction. So we're both right on Roman, but you're gonna put in a +1 and say that there's gonna be interference, which I totally see that happening. And bam, that's what's gonna happen. Let's see if we're right on that one. All right, next match.
So now we got the men's Survivor Series match. So this is the Raw team. It's Keith Lee, AJ Styles. Or is this? Yeah, this is the Raw team. Keith Lee, AJ Styles, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Matt Riddle. Or sorry, Riddle. They took Matt away. It's just Riddle now. Against the SmackDown team of Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and one more name to be announced tomorrow night on SmackDown.
Wonder if that one more name is Taker.
Maybe. I was kind of leaning more towards either Mysterio or Murphy, who both are feuding with Rollins, because it sounds like.
Ooh, I would like to see Murphy, man. Murphy.
So
he's been on fire lately.
Yeah, and it's this whole Mysterio angle is going pretty well. It's still a little weird to see him making out with Mysterio's daughter, but it's cool. Yeah, I think it might be him, because I think I don't know if you saw it this week on probably not, because
who's making out with Rey Mysterio's daughter?
Buddy Murphy.
Oh, they're actually going out though.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're actually boyfriend and girlfriend.
I didn't know that. Dang, he got her young.
How old is she?
20?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way. But Seth Rollins obviously is going to be taking some time off. Becky Lynch probably about to have her children. They put some posts.
Did you say children?
Child. She looks super pregnant though. They put a photo shoot out.
You said you put an S on it, so I was like, "Whoa, she having a double?"
No, it's probably just one, but she looks big enough. There could be another hiding. They put out a photo shoot that they did with her.
I'm sure. I bet you she does look beautiful. And
of course. Yeah, and I forget about that. That you and Becky were good friends too. So
yeah, me and Becky were really good friends.
Yeah, she looked gorgeous. So my guess is he's about to take some time off to be with her and these newborns. So that would be a good way to have them have that inner team battle if it's
I like
Murphy.
you said newborns. I said there is going to be
Oh,
multiple kids coming out of
newborn, sorry. You know what I keep thinking though? You know why I keep thinking that is someone posted a picture of those two and Moxley and Renee Young because last night on Dynamite, Moxley in his promo in mid promo just casually announced that him and Renee are having a baby, which
Nice.
was
Congratulations.
it was pretty funny because he literally was in just full promo mode on this backstage
I'm
segment.
having a baby with
Yeah, he literally just threw it in, and like everybody was just like, "Wait, what? Wait, they're having a baby? Didn't know that." It was just funny because it just seems like the way they would do it. And Renee Young, if you follow her on social media, is hilarious and had hilarious things to say right after. So I don't know who's going to win this match because we don't know who that other person is, but I just always feel like Raw comes out ahead,
Yeah, I'm going with you.
even though I love Kevin Owens and I like
Me,
him with
I
everything. But
just think Raul's going to overcome that one.
yeah, we got the women's Survivor Series match. This is going to be this is the Raw team: Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, and Lana versus Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and two more names that are probably going to be announced tomorrow on SmackDown. A lot of changes
Ooh.
happened on the Raw team. It was originally supposed to be, I think, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose is now injured and out, which is why I think we got Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce in there now.
I'm going to go with the SmackDown one
Yep.
because I don't know who the two mystery opponents could be. I'm so I don't know.
It's a good pick because right now the running thing on Raw is Nia Jax for like 7 weeks in a row has put Lana through a table. So they're obviously not working as a team. So I see SmackDown coming out on that too.
Yeah, what's up with her getting put through a table every single night?
Do you think this has anything to do with Rusev or Miro leaving and going to AEW?
Yes, and I think it comes to a point where she should stop doing that. I mean, guy, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, going through that table is not fun.
And the
And
thing with it now too is it's become almost comedic. Like people think it's hilarious that this keeps happening. Like every week it's like, oh, Nia Jax is putting her through it. No, they didn't do it. Oh no, they did. Like
that's horrible.
it's there's a lot of that going on right now. One of the topics I was going to bring up before we end today involves another situation just like that. But let's finish getting through Survivor Series. Next, we have the women's champion versus the other women's champion. This is going to be Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Those two always have potential to put on a great show.
I'm going with Sasha.
I think so too. I think it's her time. Now we have the Raw tag teams versus the SmackDown tag teams. We have the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. Your old and former co-champion tag from FCW, and the Street Profits. So kind of like a newer
Go
version of
with the New Day because they're my boys.
No, I'm gonna go
So
with
I
New
got
Day.
biased on that one.
Next, we have the United States champion versus Intercontinental champion. That's Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn.
I'm going with Bobby, but
I'm going Sami.
I think Sami will win, but I would rather Bobby win, but I think Sami will win. So I go with your pick, but I'm going with as in I would like Bobby to win. So if Bobby win or loses, I mean wins, I didn't pick Bobby to win. I would just like him. So let's get that right. I'm going with Sami for winning, but I would like Bobby to win.
Nice. I just think Trish, yep, Raw guys are gonna win. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke I'm a fan of them in the ring, but Dana Brooke's not great on a mic. Mandy Rose, I think, had a good thing going with Otis. I don't know why they stopped it. So it's just weird, but she kind of seemed like she was going to get pushed a little bit, and that's why people are talking about her getting hurt. I do think Retribution's going to cost Bobby Lashley this match. I feel like they still have their thing going on. And then Sami Zayn's a great heel, man. He's going to heal it up and win it somehow. So this is going to be the end of the show. I assume this is how they end Survivor Series. I assume the main event is Drew and Roman, but I am going to put it out there that this is what ends the show, and that is the Undertaker's final farewell. I'm going to read you the description of this, Wes. It was originally advertised as a celebration of 30 years of the Undertaker. So he's going to be there for sure. Uh, it says it's going to be an appearance for Undertaker for a final farewell, seemingly ending his career officially where it all started 30 years ago after several semi-retirements. And again, like I told you, it sounds like they're maybe bringing special guests to this for this from his past career, stuff like that. So,
Huh.
$1 million question, because I didn't ask you this when we were kind of talking about him coming out of the Hot Wing show. But the $1 million question after all this final farewell that we're going to see Sunday at Survivor Series is, does he show up at WrestleMania though? Is this really it?
With wrestling, you can't tell, man.
Never say never is
Never
how you
say
describe
never.
the wrestling business to a T. So I guess
How big that check is. If that check is $2 million, yeah, probably go through it.
right. So it does sound interesting though, because he also said in a recent interview though that he's been talked to about going to and doing more at the Performance Center, and he's actually said he likes to do that and would like to work out some more of a deal where he is going down and helping out more at the school. So you
Which
may
is
see,
crazy because he lives in Texas.
right, and that's what he said. He's like, the logistics would need to get figured out because they'd have to fly me in from Texas, but he's like, I'd like to be down there and help with the Performance Center and teach these kids, which that's just, I mean, that's the one thing WWE has done so great with their developmental, and you know, because you were in the thick of it, is the coaching staff they bring on is
It's always top
always,
notch.
always stellar. Just,
Yes.
I mean, and if you want to fight me on that, go for it. But even the people who should have been signed and on main roster at one point in WWE didn't get that chance, Sarah Del Rey, still they knew her worth and brought her in to be their women's head coach.
I mean,
They
they've always done really well with their coaches. Their coaches have always been great coaches. They've always been, I mean, I guess there has been one or two maybe bad apples, but you got to say, out of the one or two bad apples, pretty much most of the trainers have been nothing but top notch.
Yeah, very much so. So that's going to be Survivor Series. It's going to be a good show. I'm excited to watch it.
Me
One
too.
other thing,
I said
yeah,
me too.
I wanted to ask you this too. This came out this week, and that's it sounds like WWE's future plans, once this is all done, does not involve house shows anymore.
Ooh.
The talk is they're going to eliminate that. Just wanted to throw that out there, see what you thought of that. Because that, and if anybody's wondering, like, what's the big deal? House shows are those non-televised shows that happen. This is the road shows. This is where talent's out and working on the road, where they're doing the shows. And to me, house shows are always fun because as a fan, you get more interaction with the talent because they're not looking at TVs and doing the poses for hard camera and all that. But it's also just a good, first of all, it's a good chance for them to work out their matches for the
I
big shows.
That's how I worked on my angle with Kurt.
Mhm.
Like it's that's it sucks, and that's how you make a lot of money.
Mhm.
You make a lot of money doing house shows. Being on those house show loops, you can make a lot of money. Um, that's where you try out new moves. That's where you try new things out. You try new gear out. You try new boots out. You try stuff that you just, if you get new stuff, you don't always want to try it on TV because you don't know how your boots might act to the canvas. You don't know how, just little things that you always want to make perfect. You can tune up and always, try it in front of a live crowd, but not be in front of TV where if you mess up, it's on TV and the pressure is a lot less. So you can try new stuff. You're able to just be your character a little bit more, maybe tweak it out a little bit, see if it works, see if it doesn't work. and plus you get paid really well. I think that's horrible. I mean, that's less chance of selling merch. That's less. I mean, you got to think that's horrible. And then
Mhm.
two, with this Biden being president, that Andrew Yang guy being in Congress, he's really going to go after WWE. I mean, he's already contacted that Trinidad girl and was asking questions about that. And then I heard that I believe the what's the actors union?
Yeah, yeah, so SAG. So, yeah, that was,
They
a
reached out to
after
her
that
too.
was my next question. That was how I was gonna get into it, was the house shows to that too, because this is also where it ties into when we were talking about Lana and her maybe getting, uh, beat on a little bit because of Rusev, going to AEW. Um, it's been, obviously came out this week, Zelina Vega, also known as, Thea Trinidad, is now no longer with WWE, and it's directly over the third party sites. Because I guess, not I guess, I think it was known, but like she was doing very well with her
Yeah.
Twitch and her YouTube, like very well, like probably more than they were paying her. Uh,
I heard that she was making more money than what she
mhm,
was getting paid with WWE. And so
yep,
she was like, what's the point?
right.
I don't
So
blame her.
no, no one can blame her, and good for her pushback. The sad part is now Aleister Black still in contract with WWE, also asking to be put back on NXT this week and was denied. So expect to see him probably get punished on TV these next few weeks.
What,
Um,
wonder how long his contract is.
yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing he's out as soon as it's over, though. Um,
Oh yeah, I guarantee you it.
so yeah, so that's the interesting thing, man. You mentioned Andrew Yang, who said that he was going to, try to do something, depending how the election went. But I think the biggest story out of all this is the fact that once Selena Vega was let go, yeah, the president of SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, I think it is,
Hmm.
uh, reached out to her. Apparently, they talked, and the president has now also said that, yeah, I'm going to start looking into how we can work with wrestlers. This is something we said, you specifically said, I believe 3-4 weeks ago on one of our shows, that there would never be an actual union for wrestlers, but instead they would be involved with the, TV and movie unions that are out there.
Yes.
Um, and here we are. Now it sounds like it may happen. I read something about Eric Bischoff was talking about it and said he's like, I'm surprised no one's ever done it. I don't know how it's taken this long that
Well,
they
I
haven't.
can tell you why.
Yeah,
Why
let's hear
no
it.
one's done it, because everyone was scared to lose
Mhm,
their job. There was no other sources of income or other places for these wrestlers to go. But once these wrestlers started seeing these third parties and start seeing how they can make money and start being like, well, hey, wait a second. Well, there's another wrestling company that's on TV and they let their wrestlers have sponsors and they don't take money from them. They're allowed their other wrestlers to have, supplement sponsors to,
mhm,
clothing endorsements, and not take any money from them. Um, they start thinking about it. And then now, since there's an opportunity to go somewhere that's better than Impact, that's actually on TV, that actually has a huge fan base and on a major network, they're able to push back a little bit. And now, if they get a couple more wrestlers to do it, I definitely say, like I said, I don't think there'll be a wrestlers union. I think we would fall into more of a SAG and go into the SAG actors clause, because we pretty much follow every line of what SAG is. We're on TV. We there is sometimes scripted lines. We're live every week. It is a TV show. You cannot deny it's not, and you cannot deny that we're not, actors or wrestlers or whatever you want to call it, entertainers, sports entertainers. you know, we do fall into that league, and I feel like, we should be in SAG. I really think that, you know, it's only right for these wrestlers that there's there's only, I hate to say this to you guys, but there's only a handful of wrestlers that can really retire and actually retire
Mhm.
and not have to go do autograph signings and not have to do like indie shows. There's
Right.
maybe about 5 wrestlers that can really just say, hey, when I'm done, I got enough money where I don't have to do nothing. The rest of them, I hate to say it, the real world is cruel. Once you
Yeah.
start making that money, and let's say you've been on TV for 20 years and maybe you don't get in acting, maybe you don't get into modeling or whatever, maybe you didn't think about how to start a second business,
Mhm.
you end up in a situation where you're a grown adult, but you really have nothing to put on your resume except for WWE superstar. And nowadays, all these resumes and everything that you apply on is all online. So the algorithms of these job searches you won't get because no matter what, you won't be qualified because the algorithms won't, they don't recognize that you were so and so on TV. They don't care, these
Right.
algorithms, these computers. So the only way you can really do it is unless you go and actually go to the business and say, hey, man, I know my resume doesn't have any experience. This is the reason why. Da 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 da. That's why you see most old time wrestlers going to bouncing and that type of stuff because that's really the only thing left is because they're like, hey, I'm a big guy. I can go stand in front of the door and go bounce.
Mhm. Right. Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad because you put your body and your line so many years on TV that you're not protected. You don't, those actors after acting for I forget how many years, you get a pension. You get something back, you're not stuck out on the streets without anything, and
Right.
I feel like as being a wrestler, we should be involved in that.
Yeah, most definitely. Plus, now that the social media is such a powerhouse, and so many of these great talents have figured out how they can parlay their fans into a Twitch channel, a YouTube channel, to where then they can make their own money and be good and not have to.
Well, here's the thing is I don't mind if WWE, I mean, they supposedly are having all these record breaking quarters. Why don't they just pay the guys more? Say, hey, okay, you're making that much more on your Twitch account. How much you're making? You know what?
Mm.
We're gonna double your salary. Here's what you're gonna do. Can you please not do that?
Right, exactly. No,
Problem
you're
solved.
right.
But
Well,
do they
that's a
want
good
to do that?
question.
No, they want to take money
Yeah,
from you. Oh, you can
right,
do it, but we're gonna run it and we're only gonna give you 5%.
right,
What?
exactly. Oh, and
I mean,
we're gonna like monitor the entire thing. You have no
yeah.
control.
Why even waste my time?
Right. Trish, that's a really good question.
I didn't get
You
to
have to
read
think
it.
you have
Sorry.
so she wanted to know why don't the talent save their money though, like your dad Ken and Kevin Von Erich. The thing is though, that's a completely different era.
Well,
Back that
my dad also had multiple streams of income. My dad
right,
also owned Briscoe's Brothers Body Shop. My dad also owned rental properties. My dad also was part owners of Georgia Championship Wrestling and had stock in Florida Championship Wrestling. My dad was not just he didn't just rely on and then after wrestling, my dad was an agent, my dad was a producer, my dad was head of Gorilla, head of timing out the shows, my dad was head of international tours. My dad just now retired. My dad's actually been in the business since 70 or
yeah,
what 37 years, 38 years. My dad just finally retired. he
yeah, take
then
that.
then he was a scout. So my dad never really quit losing his paycheck.
Right, right,
So we can't really put my dad. You can't list my dad in that in that era because my dad went on and did other things. My dad didn't
right.
just say, "Hey."
And the product, and for everybody else, the product just has changed so much from then till now, and there's
The guys
so
were
much
making
more.
way more money back then than they were now.
Right, and there's so much more involved in now, and then there's your top guys, and then there's you got, and you're in it, but I mean, because it's funny because most fans who don't know the business, they'll be like, oh well, I don't know, they get to travel all over and they get paid to be at these places, and it's like, but they're paying for their own rental car, they're paying their
Their
gas,
own
they're paying
hotel,
their hotels, they're none of that's free. And
own
uh,
food,
yeah, like
going to
it's
the gym.
right. It's not what you think it is, because they're independent contractors. Ridiculous. So it's good to see things are moving though for the talent, for you and your brothers and sisters in the business. It's good to see that at least now someone is fighting back like Selena Vega did, and now we're seeing a legitimate organization like SAG reaching out to say you're right, and this is something we should be looking into. Because again, it's just sad. It's a sad thing to think that you guys can't make money off your own birth name.
Yeah,
You
that's
know, it's
ridiculous.
crazy. So, anyways, that's that. Last question. There's a rumor: Shaquille O'Neal, Cody Rhodes, AEW. What do you think?
Well, didn't they kind of already announce that?
I mean, they announced it, but we haven't seen them yet.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to see.
It'll be interesting. It's funny to see that they're going to probably pull it off, considering all the talk of WWE was trying to do with him and Big Show, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
And you can tell they weren't working well together. You
Well,
know,
plus, here's the thing: is TNT works with NBA,
yeah.
and they're what people don't know is they're a joint network. So
Mhm.
I think we'll see it. I would like to. That'd be cool. I'd be interested to see what happens.
Dude, Shaq is not just an amazing, legendary basketball player. Shaq is an entertainer. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't
and
watch that guy do anything.
this is not his first time doing it.
No, not at
He,
all. No, he was in the Rumble at Mania 32 in the
yeah,
Battle
and
Royal.
he's done it before. Back in he did it with me and TNA, believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
Impact
nice.
Wrestling, he did a thing. Him and um um Vince Carter.
Oh, okay. Dang,
Yeah, I
dang.
was there. I was.
Oh, yeah.
They came in and beat up the aces and eights.
Nice.
No, no,
I mean, if you can get beat up by somebody, at least you can be like, "Yo, Shaq punched me." That's dope.
dude. Did I tell you the story of the day that Hogan came back and he was like, "Oh well, I'm gonna hit one of you guys, brothers," and everybody's like raised their hand and
Oh
he like
no,
looked around and we were all like, "We all want to bump for you," and he's just like, "Okay," because it was like hope like we all lit up like kids. We were like please, 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 like
did you get to do it ever?
oh yeah, I bumped for him.
Nice,
Yeah, that was
nice,
all like that was incredible.
right? Trish wants to know if you have a fan club. We're working on some things for all of you to be able to do some cool stuff and get cool merch from
Well,
us, the
yeah,
show,
we'll
and
have a Brisco and Big Ace show fan club, but not a West Brisco fan club. I kind of don't like that attention.
yeah, he lets me do it. Like I can be the attention for him.
Yep.
But no, you know, it is that time of the year though where it's the holidays. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that we are doing the show. I'm thankful that we're now over 2 years running. We hit our 2 year anniversary back in July. Uh, God willing, we'll be able to celebrate our 3rd year of doing this podcast where it began in Iowa with all of our wonderful Hall of Fame family. So hopefully that happens. But I'm thankful that you're my friend. I'm thankful we have this show. I'm thankful for everybody who tunes in, watches, and listens. Again, VOC Nation,
Yeah, thank you.
VOCNation.com, exclusive audio versions of the Brisco and Big A show. So I'm just thankful, man. Thank you, everybody, for, being on this ride for the little over 2 years we've been doing this. It's been fun. So we have a lot more to do and a lot more we want to do. So it's going to be fun. And I hope just everybody has a great holiday season as we enter it. Before we leave, though, anything else other than your show this weekend? Anything else we need to know about?
Nope.
All right, man. So again, Atomic Wrestling this Sunday, it's probably sold out. If it's not, hit them up, see if you can somehow weasel your way in. Otherwise, follow them on
Oh,
YouTube.
send PJ some get well wishes.
Okay, send PJ get well wishes.
PJ Black.
PJ Black. Oh, yep, that's right. Yeah, send him get well wishes.
It's
And
he posted his thing on his Instagram, so go in there and Wish him
Yeah, yeah.
well.
It's a little bit of an injury, so make sure you go out there, wish him well. We're gonna work on some other cool stuff. Again, no show next week. Everybody enjoy Thanksgiving with your family, your friends, however it is you're doing it. We're gonna work on some more cool things coming your way, as well as hopefully we'll have some more guests coming in through. I know we've been talking about it. We're gonna actually start trying to get some stuff planned out for these next few weeks as we get into the holiday season.
No, we will have a guest for our upcoming uh from after Thanksgiving.
Perfect.
So
So
we'll announce it sometime mid next week.
perfect. So we will do that again. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. You can check me out Tuesday nights as well on the two count on YouTube, the number two count with comedian John Russell. We talk wrestling. Yeah, man. Otherwise, guys, just follow us, subscribe, the Brisco and Big Ace show. Share it with everyone you know. Please help us grow this wonderful fan base that we have with all of you. So happy Thanksgiving, Wes. Said the family. I said happy Thanksgiving. Tell Red. I said happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully we'll get to see each other in person sometime this year.
I know.
Right?
Peace, love,
All right,
happy.
everybody. Yeah.
Everyone be safe.
Happy holidays, guys.